All right, now I gotta show you this little chart down here, all right? This chart right here, we got to 69 point something percent Bitcoin dominance. This is from TradingView, and the current number is 68.33%. I've gone back to January, February, just to show you, give you an idea of where the dominance has been. Because, hang on one sec. Because Woo Woo Friend's been telling us for over a week now, watch the Bitcoin dominance. She goes, I'm getting 70%. It's kind of a magic number for stuff to really reverse. And not necessarily reverse, but go up in a nice way and start leading to the all-time highs again, at least of Bitcoin, going to like 20 plus K. So she'd been saying that. Of course, we had this big dip, if you want to call it a dip. One hell of a dip. But again, this is crypto market, always does this from time to time. So anyways, this happened and didn't change anything she said about the 70% thing. Well, the 70% thing happened last night, 69 point whatever. And she was told somewhere around 70, 71%, whatever. That's when she needs to get into this particular trade. And then the rest of her chart, her sequence would start to, I guess, fall into place, the next pieces or whatever. And the next part, for the most part now, is ratcheting back up towards the all-time high for Bitcoin. Remains to be seen. We had 3 days of pretty bloody markets. President Trump says something negative, then Steven Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, he says something too. But you got to remember something. Whether these guys are talking or not, the IRS was told, get your crap together, give us some guidance on crypto. Does that sound like they're getting, they're going to ban crypto somehow? The amount of money that people have in cryptos, for the government to come out and ban it would be like them banning some investment, you can't invest in the Dow Jones anymore. We're cutting it off. Like, all your money's gone. You know what I mean? Like, they can't do that. But regardless, and that's another thing. When they both talked, it's not like the market plummeted as soon as they spoke. Like what would happen in the stock world. It was like hours later. So when that happens, again, it's just, and then I see the Yahoo News, the reason why the market plummeted. Bloomberg, the reason why the crypto market, you don't know. Shut your mouths. It does this all the damn time. Again, the news has to give a reason, so the average bozo who doesn't know any better, oh, well, that's why that happened. Oh, yeah. I'm reading that Tether created, instead of 5 million or 50 million Tether and then burned it, they went and accidentally created 5 billion Tether or something like that, then burned it on accident. We burned the money, which they can do on their blockchain, and it was for another coin. I'm trying to think of the coin, for some kind of transfer, so they can have a pair, Tether to this other coin pair, to trading pair or something. But well, that's why it spooked the markets. I saw this Tether coming online. Well, hold on a second. Wait a damn second. I thought every time Tether's been created, new Tether comes online, Bitcoin price, the market goes up. That's what they show on the charts. Hey, they have 50 million here, 250 million there. The price of Bitcoin and cryptos go up. So if they accidentally created 5 billion Tether, why would that spook the market? That means money's coming in to buy this stuff. So again, everyone's got a reason, everyone's got an excuse. No, there's no excuse. The market's doing what it is. The big money that's moving this market is doing what they always do. And it ain't you, it ain't me, it ain't your favorite trader, your TA guy. It's not this. We don't have the kind of money required to do that. Some of the whales that you might consider a whale don't have the kind of money to do that. It's the big boys that do. And they're going to scrape profits, and they're going to do it again. And they're going to scrape some profits, and they're going to do it again. So, anyways, Woo Woo Friend, 70% is hit. I showed you that chart to show you that we haven't hit 70% at all this year. And she's been saying for over a week now, I have to look back at my post. It could be 2 weeks now. My initial post where she mentioned that, where she's like, I'm getting this 70%. Now, sure, it would have been nice to know, oh, in coming up soon, we're going to have a bloody red market, you know, get out now. Sure, that would be nice to know from any source, but it's just not the way it works, you know. So, you know, not all the time anyways. So again, she's saying 70% was key. So that because we went down, we should be in a reversal mode now to go back up. Could we have another little sellout? I mean, sure, it's a crypto market. The thing surprises everybody all the time. But shortly, we should be going back to the all-time high of Bitcoin, meaning 20K should be coming very soon. And she gave us a very interesting trade with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple that I did post on Patreon. And I say it always, like, hey, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Oh, this is going to be a 10x or a 50x or whatever it is. Like, don't bank on it as if it's a for sure thing. You know, don't put all your money in one basket. But I'm not going to tell people on Patreon and not do it myself. Just like last night, I said, you know, it's time to effing buy. I got home, I was after work, it's time to buy. I went on, placed an order, right, just on regular Coinbase actually, just because my one bank account was attached there already, and I was like, well, I'll just place a little order for, I got a little bit of Litecoin, a little bit of Bitcoin Cash, a little bit of Ethereum. I don't think I got any Bitcoin on Coinbase last night. But I will say one thing, I'll give you one little thing I just did. I did move a couple of things, again, side amounts, not like my whole bag, trade bag, but a few small things that I was, you know, just sitting there, didn't really matter one way or the other, you know, the whole market's down, so it didn't really matter. But I said, you know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit into Bitcoin right now, because that's part of this trade that she gave us. But we'll see if it pans out. If it does, it'll be amazing. At the end of the day, if even, again, some of the stuff she says with some of the pricing that we've seen, and again, I don't know that even though she thinks it'll be by the end of the year, look, I know how this stuff works in the psychic world and the timing. They don't work on time like we do. Maybe it's next year. What if it's 2021? You know, again, just imagine this. Red coin, multiple dollars. Joe, isn't it less than a penny? Oh yeah, it's a lot less than a penny. Multiple dollars? Could you imagine that? Right. Now imagine that's at the end of this year. That's hard to believe. That's hard for me to believe. But I don't care because I know how the market works. I know how these people work. But if they think some of these prices are coming, I'm willing to wait. I'm totally willing to wait. Because great things are going to come. Hey, I put money aside for a Tesla. Money aside for a Tesla. Beginning of this year, 6 months later, I was able to pull it off. In cryptos. What if I thought back then, man, I'm going to put this money in here right now, and in 3 months, I'm going to get my Tesla. I didn't say anything, but in my mind, let's say that's what I was thinking. Market's going to rally so good, in 3 months, it's done. Maybe even 2 months. And then, it took 6 months. So what? Took twice as long as I thought. So what? You know, like, does it really matter? You made some, you know, some good money. You know, in a trade or whatever. So, anyways, I just want to share that because it was just to see how much it moved up in July. I'm looking at now the it's down it hit 66 at the end of June, and then came down to like 62.5 or 63 beginning of July, and then it's now 70%. You know, and not even the end. You know, we're slightly past the halfway point or whatever in July. So it's like, gosh, it was what, 2 weeks, if that? Yeah, about 2 weeks. It went from 63 to 70% market, Bitcoin dominance. And I've always been looking at coin market cap. So I'd asked her, I'm like, hey, where did you get your 70% last night? Because I'm only seeing like 66. It touched 67 barely. I mean, that's close. And she goes, oh, on TradingView. So I was like, oh, I never even thought to ask or look there. I thought everyone looked on CoinMarketCap, you know? And so I pulled up a chart. I just Googled, Bitcoin Market Dominance, TradingView, and saw a couple of links. I picked one of them, and boom, there it was. And that's the one I printed out for you. Again, currently it says 68.33. And she said that, she goes, Joe, at midnight, 12:30 last night, it was 69 point something, and I was like 70%. She goes, I felt like now's the time. Spirit told me 70%, go. So she goes, I told you a while back, 70%. So now I'm getting in. But she has this like sequence of events and certain coins to get in and get out of. But some of it's like hard to follow because like, well, we gotta get, when's this part gonna happen exactly? And if that happens, how quick do we have? Like, you know, we're trying to just put it all in graphical charts to hopefully follow it. But this one, between the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple move that she's talking about, should be pretty easy to follow. And if that pans out, it'll be pretty freaking epic anyways. I mean, it'll be amazing actually. But whatever, you know, we're green today on the market. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying we're out of the woods yet, that we couldn't fall back down a little bit. But again, 70%, it happened. She said to look for it, and here it is. So what can I say about that? I can't ignore it. So anyways, best of luck to you all out there. We'll see what happens.